Hello everyone and welcome back to Cute Claws with Kelly. I wanted to start this video by showing you the Sparkle Co sub bag that I received for February. It was a Wizard of Oz theme. So there's lots of great stuff in here. I get the I Want It All level sub bags. So there's a nail polish, there's dip powders, there's gel polish, and then they throw in a few random things. So this time we got a cuticle softener and then some black like nail art polish with like one of those really skinny thin long brushes in order to do the nail art. So just wanted to show you this really quickly, and then the gift that we received was this really cute little apron. There's no place like home, and it's got kind of like a cool like 50s vibe to it. So of course my daughter is absolutely in love with this apron. She'll probably end up stealing it from me. The last video I uploaded, I showed you all how I apply the builder gel to my natural nails. And then I went ahead and top coated my builder gel because the builder gel, once you cure it, it will have a tacky layer. And so I just put the top coat right over that because I break doing my nails up into a couple of days. So I'm not doing everything on one day. But now because I want to add dip over the top of this builder gel, I am going to go in and rough it up. I've done a little bit of experimenting with this builder gel, and it's just like because I put top coat on it, right? So even if I put gel top coat just on my natural nail and then tried to dip over it, it's too shiny and smooth a surface for the dip powder, and so then the dip powder just peels right off. So what I find that works best is to go ahead and rough up the surface like you see me doing here with my 240 grit sanding band. And then I'm going to do a little bit more filing work here just to refine the shape before I start adding the dip layers over the top. So I'm just using, I think this is the 180 grit side of this file. I think it's a 180, and it'll be linked down in the box below. Everything that I'm using will be down there, but I just sometimes with the builder gel, I know it's self-leveling and I turn my hand upside down in all kinds of different ways to get it to level the way that I want. But sometimes it's still a little lumpy and bumpy in some places. And so that's the other reason why I'm going in and doing some filing work here, is because I really want to get that shape nice and perfect and, you know, get the apex just right before I dip over the top, because that's going to save me time filing my dip later. And then here I'm just going in with a buffing block just to further refine that shape and get it extra smooth. And then I did the dip over the top here, and buffing it I felt like was fine. This is the first time I tried buffing, and it so far has not been a problem. I'm still wearing this mani and it's been over a week. So I've done that same process that you saw me do on my thumb to all of my fingers, and now I'm just going in with an alcohol pad to de-dust to make sure I'm getting every single piece and remnant of dust off of my nails before I'm now gonna go in and dip over the top. So these are the colors that I chose to go with from the Wizard of Oz collection. So to me, this is kind of like Dorothy is on the yellow brick road on the way to Emerald City. So blue represents Dorothy, yellow for the yellow brick road, and then that glitter is kind of Emerald City to me. So that's the story or the theme that I'm kind of going with here. And then this is new for me. I usually like to try to get as much wear out of my manis as I can, but I see that peel off base coat is like all the rave right now. Excuse me. And so I thought I should give it a try and see if I can figure out how I might be able to have it work for me, knowing that I want to wear my manis still like at least 2 weeks. So I'm just trying it on one finger, because in the event that this stuff pops off like within a few days, that would be really upsetting to me. So I just want to go with just one finger to test this out. And so you saw that I put that, you know, I didn't bring it all the way up to my cuticle. Like I left a little bit of a gap so that my dip powder can adhere you know, to my nail with none of that peel off base coat under there. And I did take that base coat, that peel off base coat, all the way down to my free edge, but my plan is to kind of cap my free edge of the nail, like, so that I still have like a little bit of an extra bond right there that I'm thinking I would just file off when I'm ready, and then use a cuticle pusher to kind of like pop that peely nail off. So we'll see how it works. Again, it's been over a week and that nail is still holding strong. So I'm thinking I might have found the answer for me. And again, this was something I had to play with a lot with that peel off base coat, just to try to figure it out. And I think that that's what you have to do with a lot of these nail products. You know, you have to figure out how is it going to work for you based on what you're trying to do with it, like how long you want to wear your manicure, all of those kinds of things. So I'm not gonna lie, when I first was playing with the peel off base under my dip, and I was playing with builder gel and all those things that are kind of newer to me, I was frustrated. You know, I'm like trying to find my groove, and it took me a few weeks to really get that down. But now, as of this mani, I think it's all working out perfectly. So I'm gonna go in with my dip colors now. I use Virgo and Gem dip liquids, and because I'm a gel top coat girl and I don't like to put the dip top coat liquid on, I've had too many problems with stiffening the brush and all that kind of stuff. I just gave up on that a long time ago and went with the gel. But because of that, I broke my top coat, my dip top coat and my dip base coat. They're essentially the same. So I've marked one of those as one of, I think it's the base coat that I marked with a G, because I use that for just my glitters, my glitter dips. And then the top coat I use as a base coat for my non-glitter dips. So like, you know, my flat colors. So that's what works for me. So I'm gonna do 2 dips of the color, and then I'm going to encapsulate that with a layer of clear dip powder. And I'm gonna do that because when I'm filing my nails again to get my shape perfected, I don't want to be filing any of my color off. So that's the reason why I do the cap and clear. And then also that's especially important for the glitter nail. And you know, when you are using I would call this glitter that I'm gonna use not super chunky, but it's not super fine either. After you're done dipping in the glitter, it's kind of lumpy and bumpy, right? Because it's glitter. So I find that doing the clear cap in that is especially important, just to kind of help you stick the glitters down and get the nail a little more smooth. I mean, for sure, if you don't encapsulate your glitter nail with clear dip powder, then when you go in to file, you're definitely going to file off some of your glitter. And you don't want to do that, because then it's going to cut into those glitters and then it's going to not look right. It's not going to look like the colors that, you know, the glitter should look like, because when you cut into a glitter, you essentially are taking the color of the glitter off, and then you're left with like what's inside, which is typically like a silver. And so yeah, that's not what I want to go for. So again, that's the reason for the encapsulating in the clear. And you'll see a lot of us YouTubers, us, you know, influencers, creators, whatever you want to call us, I think we all learn from each other, and because we subscribe to each other and we watch each other's videos, and we're always like trying to learn things and perfect our skills. And so I think a lot of us by now, at least, you know, some of the ladies that I follow on YouTube, I've learned a lot from them. You know, like I didn't go to nail school. I'm not like a nail tech. I'm just trying to learn how to do this on my own. And so the skills that I've learned from the other ladies that I follow are totally invaluable to me. I would not be here with my manicure, with my skill level, if it had not been for other YouTubers. And you guys know, I'm not really here to like try to, you know, get subscribers necessarily. Like, yeah, that's great if I get people that subscribe to me and follow me and want to see what I'm up to, and they're tracking along with me. And I hope that I'm like helping you guys, and I'm teaching you something that maybe you didn't know to help you out when you're doing your manis at home. But I'm not really here for, you know, the glory of it all. I'm just doing this because it's fun for me. You know, it's like my hobby. So, yeah, anytime I can learn something new, a new trick, a new tip, I'm always down. And I think that that's kind of how the nail community typically is. So anyway, the way that I move through my dip powder, and you've seen this in many videos by now, is I always start with my non-glitter dips first, because as you know, glitter gets into everything, especially the really fine glitter like this blue is. That glitter is like literally flying around in the air, and I don't want to get any of that in my flat colors. So I'll do my flat colors first. Sometimes I'll go ahead and do the clear cap on my flat colors and then activate it just to be double sure that no glitter can get into it. But you know, other times I'll save the clear cap for the end on all the nails. And then with my glitters, I typically start with my finer glitters first and work up to the chunkier ones. So that's what I'm doing here. And I think that I will take a little break to catch my breath and let you guys finish watching at least this part, and I will pop back in a little while. Back. I just wanted to pop in real quick and explain one trick here with this chunkier glitter that I find really helps me. So I kind of lay my my top coat, no, I'm sorry, the base coat, because this is glitter. So I used my actual base for my glitter stuff. But I put that layer on a little bit thicker over my chunky glitters. And then when I dip into the powder, I give it a few seconds to absorb, but then I will go in and like kind of push it down with my finger just to try to get it all to lay a little bit smoother and flatter. And this helps me when I am doing the filing. Sorry, I can't find my words today. So I think that is really helpful. And then, I don't want to go in and like touch it too soon. Like I said, I want that liquid to absorb the powder before I start pushing it down, but that is one thing that I find helpful. And then I typically do not two dips of clear per se, but like one layer of clear, but I dip it into the powder twice just to make sure that all of the base is fully absorbed with the powder, if that makes sense. So that is what I'm doing here on each of these nails. And then another tip that I just learned from Marla Chris, who is on YouTube, that I follow very closely, learn a lot of stuff from that lady. One of the tricks that she has gone over many times, especially more recently, is when you are dusting off your excess powder on your clear cap, go in with a fluffy brush first. And you can see I have a couple of different brushes that I use because, again, one is for glitter and one is for non-glitter. But I'm going to brush off like most of the powder here using this brush. And I'm also testing to see like, is that nail pretty dry? And then after I dust it off with the fluffy brush, I am going to go in with a stiffer brush. This is just a manicure brush that I got. And I'm going to brush away even more of the excess powder. So this trick, as Marla would describe, it is meant to leave you without any clear remnants or particles of dip powder that when you go to activate can make your nail look kind of cloudy, or like you have white specks in your nails. Sometimes over darker colors especially, it can kind of make your color not really pop as much because you aren't getting rid of all of that excess dust from the dip powder. So I thought I would give it a try, and I was actually really apprehensive to do this because I thought, what if using that stiff brush damages my layer of powder. So you do kind of need to wait. You definitely brush before you activate, because you can see that I brushed and now I'm activating here. But you do need to give it, a little bit of time so that it can solidify and harden up and dry before you go in with your stiffer brush. So this was the first time that I tried that trick. I feel like it worked really super well, and I definitely noticed a difference between the nails that as I was going along, after I used the stiffer brush to dust off the excess powder versus, the nails that I had just done like with the fluffy brush. There was a noticeable difference. So I do feel like that is a great trick. I especially recommend that if you are going over dark colors like black or dark gray, or even like a really deep red, because I have had issues before where I felt like my clear cap kind of muted my colors a little bit. So just something for you to try out. And then here, I know I typically don't include filing in my videos just because I'm trying to not bore you with the same things over and over, but I thought I would leave a little bit of filing in here. I'm just going to show you one nail working on my thumb, and it is a very similar process to what you saw me do earlier when I was filing over the top of my builder gel. And so I'm going to go in with, my hand file a little bit here. And then I go with my eFile, my diamond bit. I do that, and I get around my cuticle area really good with that. And then I'm gonna buff it as well, which you're gonna see here in a minute. And I typically don't buff because since I use gel top coat, that needs something to adhere to. And so you can't have too smooth of a surface on your nail, because otherwise, after you cure your gel polish top coat, you can get peeling of that top coat. So they normally will say, you know, directions on the bottle, and other YouTubers will say not to buff over the top of that nail. But my trick is that I use a Mia Secret nail prep and primer. And the primer that I use, you're gonna see it when I get into that portion of the video. I've been using it for a long time, and it creates a tacky layer on the nail. And so that is what then the gel top coat like adheres to. So I would say if you're gonna buff, use a primer like that so that, you know, you're creating that tacky layer for the gel polish top coat to adhere to, or simply don't buff and keep your nail a little bit rougher, you know. So like maybe use your nail file and your nail drill bit like this one, but then stop after that, and then you can just go right over the top with your gel polish. I make sure that you de-dust your nail and wipe it with some alcohol just to get all of that dust off of there. But yeah, this is the first time I'm trying out this buffer method with the primer, and I think it works great. I've had no issues with my top coat peeling at all, and yeah, it's been good, and I do feel like my nails you know, are a little better for it in terms of the appearance because I buffed them. So that is kind of the filing routine that I do on every single nail, but again, didn't want to bore you with watching that on every nail, so I just left a little bit of that in. And then now I am working to de-dust the nails, and then I will go in with another alcohol wipe here just to further make sure that I'm getting off all of the dust. Because if you don't de-dust properly and you have a little bit left over, then that can, first of all, affect the way that your top coat bonds to your nail, and then also it can affect the way that it looks. It might not be as shiny because you had, you know, dust particles left on your nail. So just going in with the Mia Secret nail prep I know this is probably overkill because I just wiped with alcohol pad, and essentially this stuff, I think it's mostly alcohol, but it's just part of my process. I just use this first, I let that dry, then I'm gonna go in with the Mia Secret dehydrator, the extra bond, which is what you see here, and then I put that on each nail. I'm very careful with this to try to keep it off my skin, just like I am with my gel polish products. Because I've learned my lesson, you know, with gel polish, depending on the ingredients in the gel polish, you can have an allergy, an allergic reaction if you get the gel products on your skin. So I'm very careful to try to keep that off of my skin. And then I just find that adding these two products when I'm going in to do my top coat and things like that with gel polish, it just really helps with the bonding process of that top coat. The Modelones is still one of my favorite top coats. It's hard for me to stray away from what I know works well because I've tried other top coats and I've had issues with pitting, especially where for whatever reason, like the polish almost like wants to pull away from certain portions of my nail, and it like leaves like these little craters or these little pits. And with the Modelones, I never have that issue. So I have yet to try a lot of other top coats just because, again, this one works well for me. And I just have, you know, that mentality of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I almost had like a bass-ackwards moment there. But this top coat is one of my favorites. I continue to buy it on Amazon, is where I get a lot of my nail products. The more specialized nail things that I use, I'll go to different, you know, nail sites for different things. But for the most part, a lot of my staples, I would call them, for doing my nails, I get from Amazon. Again, everything's going to be linked in the box below for you guys to find in case you're looking for these same items. And then I'm going to put these nails into my lamp and let them cure for at least 60 seconds. Sometimes I find I have to go a little bit longer than 60 seconds, depending on how thickly I've laid my gel polish top coat. So after I pull them out of the lamp, I'll just kind of do a quick little check to make sure that it's dry. And sometimes I'll notice that it seems dry, but when I touch it, it like takes away some of the shine. And so that's how I know it's not fully cured. So normally when that happens, I have to fix that nail and then go back into the nail lamp for a little bit longer. But you know, here's the finished look. I'm just putting on my cuticle oil from Candi Skincare here. That is another staple for me. Can't get that on Amazon. Got to go directly to her site. But I really love this manicure. These are some different colors for me. I'm not usually wearing a mani that's this loud per se with yellow and blues and things, but I just really wanted to do like a Wizard of Oz theme since the Sparkle Co sub bag was so cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and I helped you out with some things, learning tips and tricks. I will see you in my next video. Have a great night, day, week, and I'll catch you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.